short, tall, skinny, flaca, and the girl with the big old nagas. I was like, where are those songs? Where's DJ Laz at?
Oh man. Oh, we're going?
Oh. I thought he was saying no.
I know. Why
I'm like, dude.
DJ Laz? All right. 210. Hey guys, this is Natasha with Nothing New 210 podcast. Thank you to Vodpod Media for housing and producing, and to Latino Podcast Network for having me on your network. I really appreciate it. Guys, if you are listening, go watch, and if you're watching, go listen and subscribe and like and share and do all that. Do all the things. I appreciate it because you're going to want to see who I have. And I say this every freaking week, but I mean it. Like, I have the best guests. I just do.
She really does.
I really do. You know, I'm blessed and highly favored. Appreciate it. Anyway, so speaking of, please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Cantu, and I'm a local stand-up comedian here in San Antonio, Texas.
Yes.
She also is in human resources. We were talking about some of the cases. I ain't going to say where I want to work, but I mean, you guys could easily find out.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to talk about it, but just know with HR guys, like if you fuck around, you find out.
Well, I like that I have HR because there's no HR in comedy. You know what I mean? Like, who you gonna report shit to if someone grabs your ass?
Me.
Yeah. I'm gonna report it to Natasha.
Do it. I'm a
Fuck
vigilante.
around and find out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who you gonna report if you don't get paid equitably compared to male comics?
Ooh.
Who you gonna report if you don't get put on a show because of whatever, like something stupid?
Sleep with the person.
Yeah.
That's still a thing.
That's absolutely a thing.
That's bullshit.
Absolutely a thing. So yeah, I like that I have the HR background because I'm not afraid to ask the questions that a lot of people are afraid to ask. Like, hey, am I getting paid as much? And I remember because I'm getting ready to celebrate my 2-year anniversary. So I'm still very much a comedy baby.
Yeah.
And I came out the gate like, hey, am I getting paid as much as so-and-so and so-and-so? And hey, what about like pay equity versus like time? And then let's talk about tenure. And they're like, whoa. Why are you asking all these questions? You shouldn't be asking about that. I'm like, pay transparency
Facts
is like the reason why there's this gap, particularly for Latinas.
Yeah.
And of course, men hate it when female comedians talk about the wage gap. They like to say, oh, what are you going to do? You're going to talk about your pussy. You're going to talk about the wage gap. Like, it's so predictable.
As opposed to what? Talking about
your dick.
Oh my, or women.
I know.
So predictable.
I know. So I'm like, I'm not, I think that's why I've had the kind of journey that I've had in just 2 short years is because I'm not afraid to be in places where people are like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Or why do you have merch at a show? Or why are you doing this? Or why are you traveling out of the state? I'm like, because I can. Because I want.
Wouldn't you?
Dude, there's a lot of gatekeepers in the comedy scene. And that's why when I meet people who like want to support me, want to promote me, when I meet comedians in particular who like don't give a shit how long I've been doing it, they're like, are you funny or not? Like that ultimately should be the common denominator. Are you funny? If you're funny, then let's go.
Yeah.
So that's why I got to shout out my girl Chingona E because she gives me opportunities like no one else does.
Yes.
And she's not threatened. Like, and she and I have had talks about like feelings of jealousy. Like they're real. Like she'll get something and be like, oh damn, I wish I got that.
Right.
Or I'll do something and she'll be like, oh man, you fucking killed it. I wish that was me. Like, so we have to acknowledge in this space that's like full of just toxicity.
Right.
We got to love and support each other.
Absolutely. But I think that's also human nature.
Yeah.
Like it is, as much as you're going to support and be a cheerleader for somebody, those feelings are also valid and normal. Yes. And like where you're like, oh shit. Well, number one, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
But yeah, like, you're like,
I'm happy for you, but fucking bitch, what about me?
for like a half second.
Right.
It's when that feeling stays there.
Yes.
And just festers.
Or when you take that feeling and you become a chismosa and then you start talking, well, why is that bitch getting this? Who the fuck is she?
I hate that. Don't do that.
Oh, it's the worst.
Or I hate when people are like, oh, you're so lucky. Like, bitch, I work.
Yes.
Hard. Every day.
Yeah.
All day, every day. Like the second I wake up, I'm working.
Yeah.
Like you do that. And then talk about being lucky. No, it's work.
And I've built this foundation. Like my degree is in writing. It's in English writing. I minored in poetry. The jobs that I've had, the type of events that I do, I'm on stages. I've talked to people. being in HR, I was a recruiter. So I'm used to just like, you know, like coming into conversations cold and like trying to engage people. So yes, it'll be 2 years on December 10th, but it's been like, this has been a journey, like to get to where I am.
Wait, so you started comedy on your birthday?
Yes, I did.
Okay, hold on. Skirt, like,
Pues órale, rewind.
like, okay, hold on. Bring that back. Like,
yes.
How and why did you decide, you know what, my birthday is a good time?
So I'm a part of this book club that's called Books and Booze for Chingonas. Shout out the book club. You need to be. I'm
be
gonna
in it.
You do. It's really funny because it's like the only book club where you don't got to read the book.
You're like, I watched the movie.
Yeah, watch the movie, get on Audible. I mean, you can even just there. I once went to one where you would think at a bare minimum, the host, the person who's hosting the book club, who picks the book, should read the book. There was one time where homegirl didn't read the book, and I'm like, I was actually really excited to discuss it. I'm like, bro, you picked this.
Dang.
How are you going to guide us in this discussion? But that's just the vibe. She was like, but we got wine and we could just talk.
So, and I love to read. I'm such a big nerd.
You would love it.
But I've always had to, well, not always. The past like 10 years, I've had to read, like to learn. Yeah. So now that I can go back to like finally reading for like pleasure.
We do.
I'm so excited.
And every month the host picks the book. So
look, Twilight, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Where you been, Loca?
Okay, whose team were you?
You know what? I was Team Edward, but now that I'm older, Team Jacob.
I've always been Team Jacob, like all the way. I just liked the warmer. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a fire sign.
We talked about that.
Yes, because apparently, like knowing everything about your horoscopes and who you connect with, like that's how you can like essentially function in society. You got to know about your horoscopes.
You know what? And I'm not gonna lie, there is some truth to it. So like I know right off the bat, if you're an Aries woman, it's gonna be a challenge.
Why?
It's just I've just always had like, if not big challenges, little challenges with like Aries women. I don't know what it is. Same thing with Cancer.
But what is it about their sign? Like what is like, I guess, what are some characteristics of Aries?
They're very fiery. Very fiery, but like 0 to 100, and once they're at 100, you just leave them alone. Because it's like you have to give them space to like forgive you or whatever the case is, or to just chill. Yeah. Where like Sages are like super chill, super like calm, fun, funny, but also a little bit like to themselves. Yes. But right? See, yes. I'm telling you. See,
I'm like an extroverted introvert.
Exactly. Yeah. So they have this extroverted shell and they're good people. Yeah. But you have to get to know that. You have to get past that exterior shell. Yeah. Because they come off as like, hey, and like fun and funny. Yep. But yeah, you just have to like get past it. You have to dig a little deeper.
I think it's very hard for people to like really get to know me. Mm-hmm. And I think because I'm like all over the place and I'm doing shows, or I'm traveling, or I'm like doing work with the chamber, or like leadership this, or like stuff with the kids. I mean, I'm also a wife and a mom. Mm-hmm. And so what I find is that like I meet all of these amazing, like interesting people, and I want to like, I don't want them to be superficial relationships. Like I want them to be deep, but I feel like the time, it takes time. Like it takes time. You have to invest in people. You can't just be like, oh my God, girl, I love you. We're best friends. No, like, I mean, I'm here for that energy, but it's not going to get to the point where it's like, oh, we can, even my best friend, Lori Alvarez, like we had a book club, and at the book club, she like called me out in front of everyone at the book club, and she was like, Michelle, sometimes I need you to check in on me. Oh. Like I always check in on you. And at first I was like really hurt. I'm like, girl, I'm hosting, you're gonna pick on me in front of everybody. But I needed to hear it because I'm so like, okay, because my husband works for UPS, he's not home a lot. So I'm like, I have this picture of like energy and love and support that I can give. And I feel like I'm fucking pouring out into everybody's cup a little bit, just to make sure everybody's got something. But then I'm like, who's pouring into me? Mm-hmm. And so then when people do pour into me, like, I'm like Like, so though, that's alludes to some other special skills, special talent she has.
I'm here for it.
But so I suck it up.
Yeah.
But I don't always give it out because I'm like, sometimes I feel like I barely have anything to give.
Yeah.
But I needed her to check me like that.
Yeah.
And I love her for that. But we're so close. Like, we've like invested years into building this relationship that she could do something like that. And if it was someone I had just met who had called me out like that, I'd be like, bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
I don't need you holding me accountable for my actions.
Yeah,
How dare you?
Who the hell are you? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So girl, this book club, we cry. Like, we typically pick books that are by BIPOC authors, but it's dealer's choice. It's like whatever you want to do. God, we've just read so many great books. And there's always a bunch of alcohol, where there was always food. I mean, some people go all out. So, like, one girl hired mariachis. I remember like our December one last year, they had ornaments made, like custom made ornaments that had little books of all the books that we read that year. It's good. It's really good. I'm going to make sure that I send you.
I want to acquire the club.
Yes. Come to the club, girl.
I want to go to the club. Yeah.
You're going to love it.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Okay. So what made you decide? How is it connected?
So I moved back. So I'm born and raised in San Antonio, but I lived in Columbus, Ohio for like 4 years.
What the hell?
And because that's where my company's headquarters is at. So they promoted me and they were like, we need you here. But then COVID, like pandemic hit, and I was like, oh my God, I miss my mom. I miss my sisters. I had also had a baby. I had my third baby when I was in Ohio, and that was rough. Her like being in daycare, like there's always been like, "Huela, tías," cause somebody to watch the kids. So that's why she's the crazy one, cause she was raised by Ohioans. So then when COVID hit, I started like looking for maybe like a different opportunity. I was like, oh no, I can't stay here. And that company that I worked for, they had like furloughed me. And there were a lot of unknowns. So then I ended up finding a job internally. So I stayed with the same company, but they wanted me to relocate back to San Antonio. They didn't know that that's where I was from. They were like, oh, would you ever be willing to move there? I'm like, I mean, if you make it worth my while, I guess. Yeah. But of course I was so excited. So then I moved back here. And one of the first things I did was I found this book club. One of the founders, her name is Dalia, and she has Chingona Clay SA, which I'm obsessed with. I think these are hers.
Are cute.
I love like my favorite thing is earrings, because no matter how fat I am, at least I don't have fat earlobes. So
Stop it.
So I actually did recently meet someone with fat ears. I was like, nobody has fat ears, and then I found someone. So
I've seen some pretty thick earlobes. I'm like, how did that hurt?
It's the only thing I have going for me of skinny ears, so I can accessorize. Let me live my skinny ear fantasy. So yeah, we were like talking in her driveway, and she was handing me the earrings. She's like, you know what, you would be a great addition to our book club. And then, so gosh, when was that? That was like maybe like April or May 2021. And then just in the book club, I'm just sharing my personality, laughing, joking. And then I want to say so the book club is full of a lot of women who are also like business owners and, community activators. And so there's always a lot of things going on that they share with us. Mm-hmm. One of the things that they had shared for like an October meeting was, hey, there's this Chingona comedy show at LOL. Like a bunch of us want to go as a group. So I went to the show, and Irma Ruiz was headlining that one. Danielle Torres, she was on there. She's like queen of Corpus Christi comedy. Maicia, really, really funny, talented Puerto Rican comic. Sonia Trevino, she's from the Valley. It was just like this amazing lineup. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. And so after the comedy show, some of my book club friends were like, Michelle, you're just as funny.
Yeah.
You should do it. I was like, well, how does one even do that? They were like, hey, why don't you perform for our December book club?
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, okay. So I took the rest of October, November, and I wrote a little set. And what I did was I wrote about the books. I wrote about like women in the club, and I just did like kind of a roast, and it was 10 minutes. I brought my karaoke machine. I had my little lights. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
I love it.
But yeah, we were at someone's house, and it was just like on her back patio, and had my mic, and I did my 10 minutes, and they like were laughing throughout. One of the founders, she was just like, I would have paid to see that. Like, that's the level, the caliber. And so that was and that book club just happened to be on my birthday. So I felt like amazing. I was like, oh, I did it. Like, checked a box. I can say I've tried stand-up. Yeah. And then that was it. And I just kind of left it alone. And then as fate would have it, one of my really good friends and I've known Bobby Smith for years. He also goes by B. Smitty, one of the co-owners of Upstage Comedy Lounge. Yes. I've known Bobby since I'm a really bad driver. So I had to take one of his comedy defensive driving courses.
I forgot he does that. Yeah.
So I've known him for years, and we were friends on Facebook, and then he just posted comedy classes like offered at Upstage. I'm like, oh, what is this? And I think it was like $200. And I asked my husband, I said, hey babe, I really want to try this class. And my husband was like, yeah, you want to have fun with your hobby? Would you do a class? I think he thought it was just going to be like it was like an 8 week, it was like a 6 to 8 week class or something like that. Yeah. And, so I enrolled in the class. I think after like the second class, Bobby was like, hey, like I could probably get you on a couple of shows. I started doing open mics. People saw me. So like I was already getting booked on shows before I even graduated from the class.
Dang.
When I graduated from the class, there were like 30 people there to see me. I sold merch at my graduation.
Yeah.
And there was a comedian there, and this comedian, I think he's just so cautious. I don't think that there's bad energy. And we've talked since then.
Say his name.
Nah, girl. Oh my God. There's no bad energy. He was one of the mentors in the class. Mm-hmm. But I remember like setting up my merch, and he was like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm putting up my merch, because I'm one of the things that they teach you in the class, like they teach you how to like build a 5-minute set. They teach you like the business side of comedy. Shout out to Upstage, guys. Like they're still offering classes. I think there's a graduation show tonight. Oh. So if anybody's interested,
I might.
Stop by and see the new talents. Like I think Bobby has these comedy classes, every like month or 2 months or so. And they do it all. They talk to you about, the different, how to work with the mic stand, how you should be coming off and off stage, hosting, like, cause there's hosting is a whole nother animal. Mm-hmm. Can you do a guest spot? Can you do a feature? Can you headline? Can you work clean? Like there's so much that you need to know. And even in the class isn't enough. Like there's stuff you have to learn by going to these different types of venues. Like venues at a bar are different than venues at a club, like shows at a club. Like there's just some clubs have door deals. Some clubs have like food and beverage deals. Some clubs have different percentages. It's some shows are called bringer shows, where they won't book you. Like they'll book you, but they won't. So like, let's say someone books me for a show and says, okay, Michelle, you have to sell 20 tickets in order to make it on stage. It's like, I'll be on the flyer or whatever, but if I don't meet my quota, I'm not going on.
Really?
Yes. And so so think about it, right? So if you've got a new comic who's not that polished, but they've got a big community of people who want to support them on their new endeavor, that's a great way to make money for a show that maybe wouldn't normally get a lot of ticket sales.
How do they know if you specifically sold them?
They'll ask you for screenshots. Send me a screenshot, which is really an uncomfortable conversation to have. Like I remember, so I won't do bringer shows anymore because I felt uncomfortable being like, hey, can you please send me a screenshot of like your like payment? It feels super weird, especially because I got hacked once. Ooh. Where somebody was messaging like the people on my page. Oh no. Messaging them in the comments. I did a giveaway. It was for that, Chona and I were doing, it was at the Riverwalk. I'm trying to remember. It was like a superhero themed event. And so we were giving away tickets. so we were doing like a raffle and all that. And then someone, as people were commenting, this other person who pretended to be me was messaging them, and they were like, hey, submit your credit card information so I can give you the, and people did it. I know. And so, and I caught it early enough, but I think there was like, I know at least 2 people who got scammed.
Dang.
And so I was like, I'm not doing bringer shows where I have to ask people like, send me a screenshot of your payment. Like, you know what I mean? People are wanting to follow and support you. So people did. I mean, like every bringer show that I've ever been on, I've met my quota.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm past that now. Yeah. I don't need to do that.
Yeah. Now you're headlining.
Now I'm headlining. But it's hard because when you're starting out, you know, you'll take a gig that is 2 hours away and maybe walk away with $25.
Oh shit. I
mean, if you think about it, like, I don't know, let's say I don't know anybody in like El Paso, but I know I need to get stage time there so people can see me, and I start to build that. So maybe you can barter, maybe with some comics there, like, hey, El Paso comic producer, can you put me on a show there? And then I'll put you on a show here, make it worth my while. You know what I mean? Like just to support each other. But I will tell you, one of the best gigs I ever did was I drove to, I want to say, what was it, like Sugarland, Texas or something. And it was a Chingona show. And I got to meet like Janice, who was a comedian out of Chicago. Chona E got to see me perform for the first time. So, that one show that I drove super far for, didn't make a ton of money for, I got booked on like 5 other shows.
Dang. So it was worth it.
It was totally worth it. So even now, I'll do shows where maybe I'm like, it's not paying me a lot, but I know this is a new market, or this is someone who produces a lot. So it's hard. It's really hard. I think a lot of people think, oh, you know, if you're just a good writer, like the work will speak for itself.
Yeah. It's
not enough. You have to network. You have to have relationships. Social media, like you have to have. That's where I struggle, because you've got to post, you've got to engage, you've got to get in the comments, you got to go live. Yeah. People want to know what you're doing. I remember when I would go live and I'm like, is this, y'all really want to see this? Yeah. And they do. I'm like, I'm just here eating a burrito in my hotel room at 2:00 in the morning. Is this what you want? Yeah. Are you not entertained? That's hard, but you know, right? Yeah. Like what it feels like to be on all the time. It's exhausting.
Yeah,
girl.
It really is. And I tell people, like, if you want to do like, and that's another thing too. Like I've had people like, well, why do you get to do that? Or how did you get to do that? Or, you know, how do I do that? It's networking. I've been doing this for years. Yeah. Well, 4 years. This month was 4 years. And it started out with me not knowing anybody really, like in the community, and like truly being like, hi, my name is blah, blah, and I want to do this. And can I interview you? And me driving all over town with my kids, without my kids, leaving my kids, and, you know, hungry, thirsty, tired, you name it, having to study, you know, whatever, and dropping everything to do it. But it all works out. Like it all was worth it. Yeah. Because now, and I've noticed, like, how do I say this? Because I don't want to minimize myself. I think of myself as just a normal person. But there's a lot of people that I run into that are like, oh my God, like I see you everywhere. Like you inspire me, or, you know, I could never do what you do. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah. Because to me, it's become so like second nature, but it's still hard. Yeah. And I think people don't realize, like, I think they think that, you know, like you're headlining, like, it took a lot of work and it's still taking work. Oh, for sure. And it's going to be more work. Like it doesn't stop. No. It doesn't. Like
I mean, you can't do the same 45-minute set forever.
Right. But like you get, like you kind of get used to the work, but not. You get used to like, okay, I have to work. And it just becomes a thing. Like I have to work. I have to do this. I have to do this. But you're still tired and you're still like, what am I doing? What do I talk about for you? Right. Yeah. Like, because you do have to come up with fresh material. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's another thing when people, and that's what pisses me off too. Cause I've been to so many comedy shows. Yeah. Which is great. I love it. I love the local comedy scene. I love comedy in general. But when I see people like recording them without without like them knowing, or
Yeah.
they try to make it like on the slide, like, bitch, we can see you.
Yeah.
And it's so rude though, or like heckling. Like, do you understand what it takes for somebody to be on stage in front of, you know, whether it's 10 people or 100 or 1,000,
Yeah.
and their sole job is to make somebody laugh, and you're gonna be like the asshole to record them and ruin their set because you want to post it or you think it's funny or whatever. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all.
Don't do it.
Don't.
I mean, and the comedians in the scene, they are aware of it too. Like, and people are always like paying really close attention to what you say. And they're like, oh, that kind of sounds like my joke. Or, oh, you know, I saw you with your camera out. Like, you can't be doing stuff like that. Like, we're so protective of stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, I know like a joke that I wrote, I heard someone else do that like wasn't, there's no way that like you know what I mean? Like that there was any overlap, and it wasn't like word for word, but it was a very similar premise.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, so that lets me know maybe that isn't the freshest joke. Maybe I thought it was great and it got some laughs, but if it's that easy for someone else to replicate, maybe it's not as good as I thought it was. So maybe I'll keep it in the back pocket if I need to, but if I hear more than one person doing the same kind of premise, I chuck it. Really.
So what happens if you're in that, like you're waiting, you're up next, somebody says something very similar to what you were planning, you just won't say it?
No.
So you have to,
yeah.
like you have stuff like in your Rolodex?
Yes.
Okay, ready to go.
Ready to go.
Okay. Good.
That's how it should be. Mm-hmm. So like, for example, like let's say I remember there was a show where I think I just did a feature. I think I did like 15 to 20 minutes. And then the person right after me did a joke, like very similar to my joke. But here's the thing is a lot of times comedians are like, they're not there to watch the show. They're like there to do their time and get out.
Right.
So I like to sit and watch the show. Yeah. I also have like my notebook out, and I like to like write observations of what's going on in the crowd because I want them to be a part of it. Like I don't do crowd work like punching down or like picking on people. Like I like to make observations and bring them along. And I also like to like if something that one of the comedians did that was really funny, I want to be able to like take it and like run with it in a different direction. Mm-hmm. But a lot of comedians don't. And I've done it too, where it's like, dude, it's a Wednesday. Like my kid has like volleyball practice. Like I'm here to do my time and get out. Like it's just hard. It's hard sometimes. But I think if you can, if you're present and you hear someone doing something similar, like think about the audience experience. Mm-hmm. They're going to be like, didn't I just hear?
I would.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're not thinking about that. You have to be present. So yeah, let's say you get booked for a show, you're maybe doing 20 minutes, but the show is a 2.5 hour show. You know, you got to think like, man, I'm really booked for like 2.5, 3 hours. And then, you know, you should stay, right? To like, you know, talk to people, engage, you know, shake hands, take pictures. So it's not a small thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, wow. You know, like, oh, you made so much money for 20 minutes. I'm like, dude, it's not just 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of time. There's a lot of prep. You know, you have to get there. There's sound check, you know, talking with the other comics, especially if you're hosting. It's like, make sure you get all the intros correct. Mm-hmm. Make sure you know what the specials are at the club. Yeah. You know, don't talk shit about the club.
Right.
I see a lot of comedians who talk shit about the club. I've seen some people do it in a way that's funny and some people do it in a way that's like, dang, that was...
Shouldn't have done that.
Like, you're not going to be invited back, dude.
Yeah, stupid.
Stupid.
Dang.
Like Israel Garcia, I don't know how, every time I've done a show with him, he makes fun of, like, I would say like lightheartedly makes fun of the space in a way that's like, God, it just cracks me up. He's so talented. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter where we are, any new space. He just like will come in and he'll see something and he'll be like, oh, that reminds me of da-da-da. And I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? Yeah. But that just means, because he's been doing it for years too. Like you have had to write or make observations, or you have to have like this deep well to draw from. Yeah. In order to do that. I think those are the people who have longevity, like people who are quick on the fly,
Mm-hmm.
who read, who write, who watch. Like they take in
Very
a lot.
intelligent.
Very.
Mm-hmm.
Comedians are super fucking smart.
Yes.
I think they think that we're all stupid.
No, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah, I've spoken to many. And yeah, I mean, you have to be. You have to, just like you said, you have to be like quick-witted,
Yep.
but intelligent, because you'll have to be able to, you know, use words in a way that are,
Yes.
you know, just quick.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh shit, like that's good. Or I'm like, you know, if I'm laughing, like dying laughing, like you are hilarious. Like Chingona too. Like I'm always fucking like crying when I'm around her, because I'm like, bro. And I get it. Like she's always on.
Yeah.
But she actually brought you up. I don't know if you watched the episode with her.
I saw clips. I haven't seen the whole thing yet. Wow. I need to watch it.
Fake. No, I'm kidding. No.
I should have been like, I watched. Yeah. Because what if I had said, I watched the whole thing? She's gonna fucking quiz me. She'd be like, remember at 3 minutes and 15 seconds with this, and I'll be like, yeah girl.
Yeah, totally, totes. So she brought up how you guys recently were in Chicago.
Yeah.
And how you had seen her not be on.
Yes.
And you were like,
it freaked me out.
Are you good?
I was like, who are you?
Yeah.
I was really worried. I was just like, it was so just bizarre to see that from her. But then it was also like we had passed like a new kind of milestone in our like friendship connection, because I like what I was telling you about earlier, right? Like feeling like there's a lot of surface level relationships, but it's really hard to be vulnerable with people if you don't really know them, to show them like, hey, this is me when I'm not at my best, when I'm not on, when I'm not in fucking comedy mode. And so I hadn't seen that. So I was actually like uncomfortable. I was like, what can I do to help her? I was like, are you thirsty? You need a cigarette? Like, Billy, get over here. Your wife needs help. I was just, but she was like, no, like really, Michelle, I'm just like, she needed to decompress. Like that festival was a lot. I mean, we had comedians, I think there was like 40 of us from all over the country, even out of the country. We had some really, really talented comedians at that festival. It was a magical time, but it's also like a stressful time because you're at venues across the city. You're in different lineups. Your position is changing. The venues and the themes of the shows are different. So like something you would do for like a 10 p.m. Sucia show isn't going to work for like this like Chingona happy hour or like something else. So, and then you're comparing yourself. There's a lot of like, oh, well, okay, so this is a festival with nothing but Latinas. So these are all women in my swim lane. How am I going to stand out? How am I going to make sure that I'm memorable? And then that can also create like internal toxicity. Sure. So I think we both like we got to that, when we got there that Thursday, we were on cloud nine. We were like, we had so much fun. And then by that Sunday, we were like drained. Wow. We were like,
yeah, you'll do like a full marathon.
Yeah. We were creating content, we were writing, we also like, we're being around all these other comedians. And if you're around a ton of comedians, like you're going to expel a lot of energy. Yeah. So then just trying to replace that, like, it was like, man, this was fun, but it was also like exhausting. It was exhausting.
That's another thing too. People don't realize what it takes to create content. It's so hard. And especially when people like batch content, and then
that
like,
what
batch it.
What is that?
So when you do a bunch of content,
and
then you just kind of
and
like
you schedule it,
slowly leak it out.
Yeah, it sounds like what my panty liner's doing right now. I'm batching right now, and it's leaking out all over the place.
Love that. I love that for us. No, but yeah, that's exhausting. And then editing and the process of posting and captions and not doing the same shit across each platform because the algorithm knows.
What the fuck? How does it know, Big Brother? It knows. They know everything. See, Chingona, we had a Friendsgiving party at Irma's house, and
thanks for the invite.
It was. I'm just kidding. It was my house, but shout out to Irma Ruiz. You've been put on blast.
Yeah. Oh, last time I saw her, she called me Natalia.
Wow.
She was like, Natalia, and I was like, I've been called worse.
You just rolled with
I really did. I just let her, and it wasn't until like the next day she's like, I am such an asshole. She's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, you're good, dude.
That's why I love her, because she does, like, none of us are perfect, and she'll be like, hey, did I do this? My
She's
bad.
like, I just couldn't see. And I was like, it's fine.
What does that have to do with not knowing your name?
She thought I was like somebody else for a hot second. I don't know. I don't know.
That is true, because she literally had a whole ass conversation with my husband thinking that he was a comedian named Chris Guerrion.
Yes.
And I was just,
I saw that.
I was like,
not the same. They're not the same. I've seen both. Yeah, they're not.
I love her.
So Friendsgiving?
Friendsgiving. Chona, literally, she has a sty. Her eye is super fucking puffy.
Oh my God.
Girl, you didn't look that cute. I'm just saying. We were like, why did Billy fucking take a shit on your face? Why are you here, bro, around all this food?
Sties are contagious.
And then we're all kissing like, is my eye puffy? And that's just the upper eyelid fat. But so she's, my whole point, you're like, are you just talking shit about Chona? My whole point was like, homegirl had a lot going on with her face. Like, you know, she's also just always still on because she was making everybody laugh. And then she also was like, I think she made like 3 videos that night.
Oh my God.
And we're there just to like eat and drink. Like, nobody's working. She's working.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I'm with her, she is working. We went to the gas station one time. She was like, it's raining. Wouldn't it be funny if we did this puddle? I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
How do you do that? I don't know.
Always have to be creating.
Always. Mm-hmm. And then she, not only did she make the content, but then she turned it around. Okay, guys, watch me edit. And I'm like, and she's teaching. Like, this is a person who just gives back. Mm-hmm. It's like everything that comes to her, I'm like, she's earned it. She deserves it. She's just a good person. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm like, oh, I owe her a ton. I credit a lot of where I am because of her, because of the like fucking trailblazer for me. For sure she has, because she has this great network. She like those shows at LOL that gave me an opportunity to be exposed to all these people that I wouldn't have normally been exposed to.
Yeah. And everybody loved it. They loved your set. Yeah.
They did. And I would never have had the opportunity if it hadn't been for her. And I would have never done comedy if it hadn't been for Irma creating the Chingona comedy show. And I would have never taken it beyond December 10th if it hadn't been for Bobby and Upstage. Like, there's so many people that are a part of the journey. Yeah. So like I always am saying like, how did you get started? I'm like, well, it was book club, but it was also Upstage. It was also these people and that. Like, there's so many things. It's not just one thing. Yeah. No. And I hate when people like, oh, yeah, but you didn't really like it hasn't really been 2 years. It's been longer. Or, oh, it hasn't really been, like, you haven't really been doing it. And I'm like, no.
Who said?
Girl.
Name them.
No. Why?
Because we're here to keep it real.
Oh, well, no, I can't.
Tell me off camera.
Okay.
Tell me where they stay at too.
I'll go fuck them up. No, because a lot of these people, like, it's been a journey that we've come to a point where it's like, we've talked about like, hey, like, girl, when I first started out, I cried a ton. I'm like, why don't they like me? Why are they making it so difficult for me? Or why are they talking shit about me? Like, what did I ever do to them? Like, I'm literally just out here trying. And I just didn't get it for so long.
Because taters are going to tate. And
they did.
And they do.
They tated really hard.
And where are they now?
They're
same place or not doing shit, right?
No.
Or they might be a little bit up, but they're not where you are.
No comment.
I'm just saying.
No, yeah.
Like, you can be a hater, and yes, you can still move up. Yeah. But at some point, people are going to see you for who you are.
Yeah.
And they're going to either call you out on your shit or they're going to stop fucking with you. So for me, like, for people that, like, I mean, I only know of a couple of people. Yeah. That people have come to me and been like, this chick does not fuck with you. And I'm like, for what reason? Yeah. Did she give you a legitimate reason? No, right? Okay. So I'm just going to let her talk her shit and look stupid.
Do you ever confront them?
No, for what? Because so many people refuse to be like, okay, yeah, I said that. They'll be like, oh no, I didn't mean it that way. Or no, I'm sorry if that's no, you're not.
Or if they say, I'm sorry, that's how you took it. I hate those fake ass apologies. It's like, so I'm sorry you got upset.
I refuse to have conversations with people who will not hold themselves accountable.
Facts.
Because for me, if I do something to hurt somebody, it's never intentional. And I love for people to be like, hey, you kind of said something, or you kind of did something, and like that kind of, did you mean it that way? Or, that kind of hurt my feelings. And I will absolutely explain it.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't. And now I know not to do that, or to be more conscious of that. Because I'm not perfect. Nobody is.
Right.
So I will take accountability for the things that I do, intentional or not. But I never intentionally hurt people. But people intentionally hurt other people. And for those people, I don't waste my time and energy.
You're right. And I did, because I used to, I think I really I wanted to be liked by a lot of these people like so bad. Mm-hmm. One of the people I remember telling me like, hey, she's never going to like you. Like, just get accept that. And I'm like, no, like there's gotta be a way. Like I'll kill her with kindness, or no, there's gotta be something. Like there's something that I can do. And it's like, I had to let that shit go. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like we're respectful, we're cordial, like it's fine now. But I know like that for whatever reason, because I certainly don't know like what I ever did to that person to make them feel like such an aggressive way.
Sure.
But I'm like, but I can't control that shit anymore.
Sure.
And I was losing too much sleep, and I was shedding too many tears on what?
Yeah.
On this person who could give two shits about me? Right. Why am I expelling all this energy on this bitch? Like, I'm not. So I was just done.
Yeah. And then also learning like people project. So their insecurities, they will project onto somebody else.
Yeah.
So, I don't know this person or who she is, whatever. But, if she was like, oh, she has curly hair, it's maybe because she wants curly hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or whatever the case is. But I don't know if she's Latina or not, but I always bring it up. And I always say like Latinas, like hate so much on Latinas.
We really do.
And it's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Like we, and I don't say we to like group me in or group you in, but like Latinas in general, like it happens so often, like it needs to stop.
But you know why? It's because we have a scarcity mindset. Mm-hmm. It's because we've been put down for so long, and we've gotten so few opportunities that when one of us gets one, we fucking hold on to it like so tight, and we're like, I've got to keep this because who knows if I'll ever get it again. Yeah. And so we act like we're starving, and we're fucking scrappy, right? So we'll fight over that shit. Yeah. But it's not like, it doesn't have to be like that. Like, yeah, I'm not minimizing that we have fewer opportunities than a lot of other people. That is a fact.
Sure.
But we can create. I see so many, I feel like Latina business owners and ideators and people who are like willing to collaborate, like create, like, okay, like then let's partner up, bitch. Like then let's create those opportunities.
Exactly. Let's collaborate.
Let's like, if you build it, they will come. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's what needs to happen.
So I literally had this conversation with my best friend yesterday, and she was like, she also brought this up, this like, almost this exact same thing, but she was like, we also were raised by women who tore us down.
Yes.
So you think about that too. So that's why it's, and they said it, oh, it's because I love you. You don't tear people down that you love. Mm-hmm. And I get it. It was an older generation. It was a different mindset. Yeah. I grew up the same way. I was told I was never good enough. I was never pretty enough. Like I had to be the best, the best in the room. Mm-hmm. And if I wasn't, then I wasn't enough. Yeah. And it took a long time for me to realize I'm never going to be the best, but if I can be the best version of myself, then that's what matters. And I'm happy with that. And I love myself. Yeah. And I think we were almost taught not to love ourselves. Like to love and do more for our kids or husband or whoever before us.
Oh, yeah.
And so we were taught to put ourselves on the back burner. And so you're right. When we get those opportunities, it is scarcity. And it's, oh, shit, I have to hold on to this. But I am like, let's collaborate. Let's work together. Yeah. How can we? Because you can make me better. Yep. And, maybe I can make you better or maybe not. And no matter what, we collab and people see that we're working together as Latinas. Yeah. And I think we are stronger in numbers. Absolutely, we are. And that's why, like, so this party on the 2nd, I wanted it to be like a thank you to the people who have bought tickets, like over the past 2 years. I wanted it to be an opportunity for like the women who have supported me to like make some money, right? So I'm celebrating my birthday and I'm celebrating my 2-year comedy anniversary. So Selena Gipset, who owns
Casa Gipsit, which is the only Latina owned like Mexican winery, like Mexican wine, like exclusively deals in Mexican wine here in the country.
Wait, is it Guito? I messed that up.
Casa Gipsit. Gipsit.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah. G-U. I love the face. You're like, is that how you say it? Fuck, I've been fucking it up this whole time.
The whole time. I just don't say it. But I met her years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I think when she just started.
Yes.
And it was fantastic.
I love. So I was gross. I used to just drink like Moscato because
Ew.
I'm like.
Just kidding.
You're like, you're still gross, actually.
Actually, we're done here.
And I'm like, so I remember the first time I went to her shop and I said, do you have any Moscato? She was like, oh, Michelle. Oh. No. I was like, you don't got that barefoot, that exclusive.
Oh my God. Not that barefoot. With a twist top.
You don't got that Franzia. You got that box chilling in the back, girl.
I need that bladder, girl. A slap in the bag.
I mean, I'm leaking it out right now. Just put the box right here where we fill that shit. So she like I had never had a Malbec before I met her. I had never had like just a delicious, just a juicy red cab. Like I never, girl, I'm so
I know.
thirsty.
We're gonna go get wine after this.
And she also happens to be the CEO of the Boardroom Project, which is an organization that provides opportunities for young women to learn about how important it is to have a seat in the boardroom and trains them. And so she had me speak at one of the BRP events in Corpus.
Awesome.
And then because I did that, then they came out to my Corpus comedy show. And so I have like a bunch of like BRP fans. So I'm like, Selena, I would love to just like make this a night where like it's exclusively you. Like, so she's the exclusive like alcohol provider. Ooh. So people are going to be putting money in her pocket. And then my really, really good friend who has taquizas al chile, which it's such good food. She also
What'd you call me?
I called you al chile. I called you taquiza.
Yeah.
That's my stripper name.
Chile bikini. Yeah, that's mine.
Oh my gosh. So, and she made like a specialty menu. Ooh. Where, cause one of my jokes is my big chocha energy, my BCE. So, and I have my big chocha energy puffy taco merch. So she's making a puffy taco BCE special.
Stop.
Yes. And then my bestie who has like literally like she's traveled on the road with me. She's helped me like work my merch booth. Like she does all the things. Mm-hmm. She like helps me like with my calendar because I get really busy. Like there'll be peaks and valleys where it's like, oh, maybe I only have like 1 or 2 shows this month. And I'm like, oh my God, I have like 6 shows in 1 week. And it's like, fuck.
Oh my God.
She helps me.
Yeah.
So her birthday is the 8th and mine is the 10th. And we're literally like, we are both married to like the exact same person. We both have 3 girls. We both worked for the same place. We're both like, we do like, there's so much we have in common. Yeah. And so I'm like, well, this is going to be like our night together. So like she's on the menu, like we're dressing it because it's a twinning theme.
Yes.
So like we're dressing up as twins.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I mean, speaking of, we're kind of twinning right now.
We are. No. I appreciate the flattery, but I'm concerned for your eyesight more than Irma's.
What do you mean? Yours is just like, it's like a mustardy nude.
Girl, are you colorblind? Is this
Maybe.
like the blue dress moment that we're having right now?
Well, there's also a pink light on you.
Okay, well, because this is
mustard?
This is grinchy green.
No,
like
it's not.
This is my chewed up Nana's pea soup. Like this.
Stop. Okay, well, under the light it looks mustard.
What?
Swear.
No.
Pink and green makes yellow.
Okay. Is that what they taught us? I don't remember all the color combos.
I swear to God.
This is green.
You know what? It is. Because when I saw you outside in the daylights, I was like, that's green. But right now it looks mustard. Right, I swear to God.
Does it?
Swear.
And then yours, actually, now that I'm looking at it, it does kind of look like a brownish, right?
See?
And yours is
nude.
Yours is nude.
Anyway.
It is.
I'm going to stick to the fact that we're semi-20.
We both have black bottoms on.
And
we both have black shoes.
That's it.
Look at the difference. Can you see? Can you see? This is Dress Barn. This is Ross.
This
is your mom has cankles and she doesn't want to roll an ankle. And this is
BDSM.
I know.
No, I don't know.
Oh my God. I know. Look at, you could just see the difference in our lifestyle. This is the difference in our love lives. She's got fucking chains and spikes and shit. I got a little bow for fun. Just a little something.
Hey.
There's a little
There's
a little buckle.
Oh,
Hey,
see,
that's a little
spicy. I
wow,
see you.
she crazy.
A little Dom, I see you. All right, a little buckle.
Oh my god. I'm literally wearing okay. This one is like, she's got this really cute like scoop neck, and I'm wearing like I've created 5 extra chins with this outfit. Okay, because I have this thing where I'm so anti turtleneck, because I'm like, I already have 5 chins. I don't need a turtleneck to push everything together. So then I started buying what I was calling cow necks. I was like, excuse me, miss, can you please take me to the cow neck section? She was like, are you saying cow? I was like, yeah, moo, la vaca. Give it. She's like, it's called a cowl. Cowl with an L. I was like, oh.
I said what I said.
I identify as a cow neck person. So this is from the cow neck line.
I love it.
It literally makes it look like I only have one neck. There's so much. I'm like swimming in all the fabric.
I see it. I like it.
Yes. So
Sexy.
anti-turtleneck, anti-turtle, pro cow.
Me too.
Yes.
I just feel like I'm choking.
Oh, but you like that. Shout out. Shout out BDSM.
Yeah.
Shout out ASMR. She likes to be choked.
Who doesn't? You're like, get that
It's
shit
just,
away
it
from me.
doesn't, it's because I have a fat neck. It's like really hard to choke. You
Stop.
can't choke me. You could try. It'll take me like a good 30 minutes to take me down.
Your husband's like, challenge accepted.
He's tried. I'm like, it's just not working for me. Like, you can stop.
No,
It's just,
stop.
it doesn't get past the squistle. Like,
Oh my god.
like I'm saving up for I'm hibernating. Like, this is,
Oh my god.
it's my hibernation pouch. Fucking kangaroo is on my face. Anyway, I love myself.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You're beautiful.
Thank you.
You know that.
I do. It took me a long time.
Yeah.
And the curly hair, I hated it.
I love the hair.
I'm the only one in my family. My dad had curly hair, but he kept it short, so you never know. But I got it from him. My mom would
Thanks, Dad.
brush it out. Like it would just be frizzy.
Oh no.
And my sisters have this like, beautiful, like long black, just gorgeous hair. And my sisters were thin, and I wasn't. Like, I was just like my youngest sister. She looks like Snow White. Like, her skin is like alabaster, and she's got these big brown eyes and dark hair. It's weird. She has curly hair now, like after puberty. I guess it like changed her hair texture, but it's still not as curly as mine. So growing up, it was like, my mom didn't know how to fix my hair. She would I remember, girl, I got piojos.
No.
I did. And my mom, like, she would put the lice coming, it would go like 2 centimeters. She's like, I can't get them. And then she shaved my head. Girl, I was
emotional damage.
It was.
Oh my
I
god.
remember wearing a hat to school, and my teacher, because one of the fucking asshole kids, Miss Rodriguez, she can't wear a hat. And then you leave her alone. She's on a journey. And I'm like,
Aw.
she thought I had cancer, bro.
No. I was like, to
I was like,
self-discovery?
I'm just dirty.
Yeah.
So I struggle with my hair.
Oh my god.
I used to straighten it all the time. When you walk around, you can smell that burnt hair. Just that, ugh.
Yeah, like that.
Just smells like burnt carpet and shit. Like,
And Aquanet.
ugh, so bad.
Yeah.
So it took me a long time to like figure out how to fix my hair. Like, my mom didn't do that. Like, my mom, I will say, because you were talking about this earlier, like, I do feel like my mom, she's been so supportive. A lot of the people in the comedy scene know her. They call her like Mama Debbie.
Aw.
Because she's so, like, she comes to all the shows. She buys tickets. I'm like, Mom, stop buying tickets to my shows.
I can get you in.
I can get you in. There are like 1 or 2 where they're like, hey, we can't do any comps.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Mom, you don't even ask me anymore. Like, she brings flowers.
Aww.
Like, I'm graduating from the 2nd grade or something. I'm like, what the fuck?
I love that.
She brings flowers. She talks to all the comedians. She comes to my book club.
Stop.
My mom is actually like super duper supportive.
I love that. Does she bring maracas too?
She got the milk jugs. I told her, I was like, Mom, one of these days I'm going to throw beans on you.
I need her to just go everywhere with a milk jug full of beans. That would make my entire life.
She's a very crafty person. She makes like her own like Halloween and Christmas decorations. Cute. She likes to bake. Like it's so bad for you. She's like, I made this like Christmas candy. And I'm like, it looks like a sheet, like it's like brown. And then there's some like candy cane chunks. And I'm like, where did you get this recipe? She's like, oh yeah, just throw some things together. I'm like, no, but the kids love it. Like her favorite thing to make is monkey bread.
Okay.
Have you ever had monkey bread?
Is that where they knot it or like they twist it?
I think that's how it's supposed to look.
Okay.
I think it's supposed to look like that. But my mom makes it and it just looks like a heap of like McDonald's chicken nuggets, like covered in cinnamon and sugar. Listen, my mom's, so when I was talking about like my mom is crafty, but she's not like talented.
Yes. Yes.
like the pure of heart intention is there, but the output is like, why? Yeah. Why does this exist now in this world? Yeah. It shouldn't. Yeah. But I just love her. She's
so sweet.
She's amazing. And my sisters, like I want to acknowledge that I have privilege in this comedy scene. Because yes, I'm a mom and I would not be able to do comedy if I didn't have my mom, my sisters, my friends, like watching the kids, helping me. Like when I travel, like someone's got to pick up the kids from school. My husband can't do it. Like that was a challenge even before I did comedy. I was always the one that had to like, I have to do the PTA. I have to do the award ceremony. Like he can't do it. He can't like get off the UPS truck and leave your packages like on, at the, on the west side. I mean, he could if he was a dig, but then y'all would fuck him up. And I don't like that he gets all these goodies. Like people give him, girl, I'm like, let me find out that you're doing more than just delivering some packages behind that bitch's bush. This is the only bush that you drop your dick off.
Right. Fucker. Yeah. Ho, ho, hoes.
Ho, ho, hoes. Yeah. Missile hoes. That's the name of my new Christmas band. Anyway.
I would pay to watch it.
You would. I would.
I could be in the back.
You want to be? You want to be a missile hoe? You would be a really cute missile hoe.
Thank you.
Can you carry a tune?
Sure.
I love that you have a tell. Every time you lie, you look at the camera. Like that's actually a really good tell to have for someone who lies because you like look at the audience to like, please confirm that you know I'm full of shit. Like I need someone.
Absolutely. Every time somebody asks me my age and I tell them my age, I look because the people that really know me are like, bitch. Yeah.
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't.
Because you look 25.
Thank you.
Yes. And I mean that sincerely.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. This is how I know. Because people talk shit, right? They're like, just tell everybody how old you are. I'm like, no, for what? Because to me, like, you're as old as you feel.
Yep.
And so I'm not going to like age myself by saying how old I really am. So like, okay. So this is what happened was we were at a club recently.
Yeah.
Me and one of my girlfriends, and there was these two younger girls, and I feel like they were babies, but one was 21 and one was 22, so basically babies, right?
Yeah.
And they both thought, one thought I was 25 and the other one was like, maybe you're 28. And I was like,
see,
I'm somewhere in between 25 and 28, so you got it. Congratulations. And then I told one of them how old I really was and how old my kids are, and she's like, like she was like her jaw almost hit the floor. I had to like pick it up.
You got that J-Lo gene. You
Hopefully,
do.
man.
Because J-Lo's really 85, but she
really is. I want a 6-pack when I'm 85.
She looks so good.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I'm turning 35.
Cute.
35.
Congrats.
I'm excited, but I'm also nervous
because I feel really like turning 35.
I'm really turning 35.
Swear.
I was born December 10th, 1988. Ooh. 88. Damn, that sounds old.
You're an 80s baby?
I'm an 80s baby.
Ew.
I know. I'm sad about it.
Wild.
No, I'm not. I think the only thing I'm sad about is I feel like I started comedy so late.
I think this is a perfect age. Like 35. Like you've had life experience.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you have shit to talk about. Like when I see like kids, they're like 20, 21 and they're up there, I'm like, you're funny, but where's your life experience?
Yeah.
You'll be so much funnier when you've been through some real shit.
And now that, because I'm doing like the social media stuff and I'm looking at like the data, like a lot of my followers are between like 35 and 55.
Nice.
So that like older crowd is,
Yeah.
they're gonna nail me. They're like, oh, we're old now. Fuck you. Unfollow. I appreciate
Just kidding, don't unfollow me. I love all of y'all.
Yes. I love you.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, okay. Like that's helpful for me to know. Like,
Sure.
And that means that the stuff that I talk about, because a lot of my jokes, I feel like where I talk about like pantyhose or I talk about like exactly. A lot. I may not be that old, but I also grew up poor, so I feel like I relate with a lot of older people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't have no damn computer. I didn't have no cell phone. It's like, how old are you? And like, oh no, I was just poor.
I'm young.
Yeah. But we was broke.
Yeah.
But I never felt broke.
Yeah. That's what matters.
Yeah. My mom was just, and for a while when it was just us girls, that was fun. Aww. My mom and my sisters and I, that was like, we could do it all.
Yeah.
But then Tyrone came along and then it just got better.
Aww.
Call Tyrone. He's funny.
Funnier than you?
Funnier looking than me.
Oh.
That's for sure.
Well, you're beautiful. So.
Oh. Well, he is my stepdad. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, because I call him my dad just because he's been my dad longer than like my real dad. Mm-hmm. And sometimes sometimes people think they're like, you're part black. I'm like, they see my hair and I'm like, no, that's my stepdad. They're like, oh, I thought. And I was like, what? Really? Yeah. Do I get to check out my black card from like the library for a minute? No. Yeah. Puro Latina.
Yeah. You get invited to the barbecue.
I get invited to the barbecue.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah. It's all right. At least you get that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's something.
It really is.
And Tyrone, he's amazing. I love him. I love my family. I love my sisters. I'm really blessed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And my kids are good. They're so good. They don't cause me any trouble.
Good.
They do well. My oldest, like she's actually like she's doing like professional speaking. She's getting into theater.
Nice.
So she's really kind of like following in the footsteps,
Aww.
which is just, it's so cool.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids don't fully know what I do. They're like my middle child.
Because you have like 12 jobs, girl.
My middle child is like, you do media? And I'm like, yeah. And then my baby, she's like, you're a doctor.
Well, that's, yeah.
But you're famous. And I'm like, not famous. But halfway.
How old is your youngest?
6.
Mm-hmm. So mine is 4. And anytime I'm like going to the door, she's like, ugh, you have a show, don't you?
Oh.
You have a show? You have another show? Or she'll tell people, it's like, my mom. My mom goes to shows. I know. And I'm like, like a peep show?
Yeah.
Like, is she...
The burlesque?
What is she doing?
Yeah.
They don't know. They don't know what I do. My middle child tells everybody that I'm a comedian. Like she tells her teachers, she does like everybody. She has like, this was her first year with the cell phone and she shows all my clips to all her friends. Like I feel like her teacher is annoyed with me. He's like, if I see another fucking clip about your fucking chocho, I don't want to know you like this. Like, you can't be like a good homeroom mom and then also be like, so let me talk to you about my panoche.
Or can you? You know,
I'm having to redefine those expectations.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so how do people get tickets to Saturday?
So there are no tickets for Saturday. There's no cover.
Oh,
it's
you
just
show up.
It's show up, and like I said, any money that is spent, I want them to be spent on Casa Gipsit, on Taquisas al Chile. We're going to have a photo booth. The 210 photo booth is going to be there.
Yeah.
So please come out. There's no cover. Like we're just going to party. We're going to dance. We're going to have a good time.
I'm going to Uber.
Yes, do it. My friend Roland is going to be DJing. Like nice. It's like a bunch of like just my friends like who have supported me. So now I'm giving back to them. So everybody that comes, please support their businesses. There's going to be good food. There's going to be good fucking wine. There's also beer for the men. Because one of my friends was like, what about my husband?
He can drink wine?
Oh, apparently he can. He's like, I need beer.
Is he allergic to wine?
I don't know. Maybe he is, but we'll have beer and wine. So yes. So
but the wine is amazing.
It's
like,
so
you're gonna want to drink it,
and you're gonna get fucked up. Like I get really. I'm like I can't wait for you to see my outfit.
Oh my god.
I love my birthday outfit.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna wear the wig because apparently
it was so good.
Everybody was like, "You look really hot." Like I had so many people slide into my DMs like, "Hey, that did something for me."
Oh.
And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
After I come through this whole journey with my hair, I'm like, "I love my hair. I love myself." They're like, "Yeah, but as a blonde though,
yeah.
Oh wow.
Something about that lob.
Something about I don't know. So I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna bring her back. I need to name her. What should I name her?
Ooh.
She needs a good wig name. Like when I put her on, who do I become? Destiny.
Ooh.
I like that.
I like it.
Okay, so I'm bringing Destiny back
Oh.
on Saturday. But there's no comedy. So if you guys want to support me comedy wise, please buy tickets to either my December 9th show, which is going to be at Upstage with AJ Rivas.
I will be there.
Yes. Woo! It's going to be a good show. But I'm not headlining. AJ's headlining. Mm-hmm. Or come to where I'm headlining the Hard Rock Cafe, which is a new comedy venue. So Hard Rock's not new, right? But they don't really do comedy there. So they're just starting to do comedy. So I'm the first female to headline there. Yes. There's only been one other show prior. So I'm the second show there. So I'm really, really excited.
So my last episode was Cousin Berto. And so we talked about it.
Yay!
And so I couldn't go to the last one. It was last week. My friend, it was her funeral. And so
oh, that's right.
So we didn't go. But I will be there for your show.
Yay!
So, yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So any shows, because I'm gonna be at Upstage tomorrow. Clifton Simmons is headlining tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna be on that show. Friday I'm gonna be in the Corpus area. I'm gonna be at the North Shore Country Club. Perform. The headliner's like a comedian, like hypnotist. So I don't know. All of you are gonna be hypnotized by Destiny.
Oh.
And then Saturday is, of course, the party at the parish, and then the following week is where I have the Hard Rock, and then the December 9th is Upstage with AJ, and then the following week I'm back at Upstage on the 13th for an improv show.
Nice.
So everything will be improvised. And then I want to say on the 15th, I'm going to be performing at University of the Incarnate Word.
Ooh.
I know. So that's gonna be a clean show. I'm actually really nervous about that one because that's one that's like when you can book like universities, like corporate gigs, like they pay you a ton of money, but you've got to be very specifically what they want. So yeah, I've got a lot cooking. So please follow me, Michelle Cantu Comedy, on all platforms, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
And then on the 30th, you'll be at my birthday party.
Yes. And I have heard so many things. I won't mention them on camera, but they're like, girl, get ready. And I'm like, oh, is it really? Like, are we going to see some like butt naked little people? Are we going to be?
Oh my God.
Is there going to be
it happened one time. No. I'm just kidding.
I'm excited. Like, what's the dress code? Like, do I just wear a sash that says Miss Chocha? Because I'll do it.
So literally wear whatever you want. So I have like,
because it's not New Year's Eve.
No,
it's the 30th.
Before.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I have my like color palette for like that I pick.
Yeah.
But you can literally do whatever. Because every time I try to do a theme, people are like, I don't like themes. I don't have money. And I'm like, okay, fine. Just come as you are.
Yeah. Come as you are.
Yeah. But
look at the camera and then tell me that you can carry it out.
I don't know. but also no presents. Like your presence
is my present. That was cute that you said that.
It's true though. I would rather people come, because I've had people not come because they're like, I didn't have money for a gift. Like, I don't want a gift. I want you.
Oh
yeah,
that's so sweet. Please leave your presents at the parish for me when you come.
She's like, I do want presents.
Who shows up to a party without presents?
I mean, you can. Last year I said no presents, and like damn near everybody brought me at least a gift or like a bottle. I was all,
But you
damn,
see,
y'all.
that means they love you.
No, I appreciate it,
Yeah.
but I had more alcohol. I was like surrounded by like just alcohol, and I was like, Jesus. So I would just add it to the pile. I'm like, whatever.
No, I literally want people like I want this to be like a thank you for people who have already like they've already like the presents have been like coming to shows, like paying for tickets, like so there's no cover, and people were surprised. They were like, "There's no cover? I don't get it." And I'm like, "No, this is my thank you to you." Like, and if you are going to spend money, please spend it on these wonderful partners and supporters and sponsors.
I love that.
Who have helped me.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, because I feel like a lot of people are confused. Like, this Saturday is not a comedy show. Like, it is just a party.
Yeah.
And the comedy shows that I'm really pushing are like the ones that are coming up, the 6th and the 9th. Those are some big ones. Yes, I'll be at Upstage tomorrow, but definitely like the Holiday Giggles one with AJ. God, there's going to be some really talented people on that show. And then of course, I'll be headlining at the Hard Rock, and I'm really excited about that because I want to make a good impression on them.
Yeah, of course. I love that. Congratulations.
And then you heard it here first. I'll be in New York, baby.
When?
March 2024. I got selected for the Good Karma Comedy Festival.
Oh my God. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
This one was exciting because, so yes, I did the Latina Comedy Festival in Chicago, but I knew Janice. Like, so it wasn't like a cold, submission.
Yeah.
Like, she's seen me. So I don't want to sound cocky, but I knew I was going to get into that one. This one, like, I don't know anybody in New York, no one at all. And it was just like, I needed to know like that my bio was good, that my clip was good, that my headshot was good. It was just a cold submission, and they accepted me.
Oh my God.
So I'm really excited.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for
Thank you. So please continue to follow me in my journey.
Yes.
And then y'all, Natasha, you're a real one.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. No, I appreciate you.
How many comedians have you had on this chair?
I
need names because it feels a little moist right here.
Chana E. No.
There's leg hair left on this chair from when she was here.
Right? Cousin Berto.
That explains the white.
Chingo Bling.
Really?
Wow, you don't watch me at all. Shit. I had AJ. AJ was one of my first guests.
I did see that. I did see that.
But he talked about being single in San Antonio. That was the episode. Who else have I had? I had a John Gonzalez.
Polar Bear. I was going to say, I thought Polar Bear was on. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I've had a bunch.
Wow. So you really do love and support comedy, the local scene.
Of course. Yeah. I support people who are supportive of me and what I do. And even if you're not, like, and this is something we'll like kind of end on this, but like I told my best friend yesterday, like, I think if you don't like mess with somebody like that, but they're so good at what they do, give them credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I personally don't like her or him or whatever. There's something about them, but they're the best tattoo artists or the best whatever. Like, just give them their credit.
Yep.
I don't know. That's my 2 cents. But anyway, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So
words of wisdom to live by.
Yeah. So Michelle Cantu.
Cantu Comedy.
Yes, on everything.
On everything.
Cool. So make sure you follow, like, share, attend. Like, she is hilarious. If you have not seen her, please. And very sweet as a person. So
thank you.
You're a real one too, and it's hard to find. Yeah,
I appreciate it.
That's how, like, the last time we were together, or like Halloween or something. You're like, I'll fight. Like, or like, it was like, we won't go into that conversation, but I was like, dang.
I was. I was like, oh,
you're about it.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. Cool. So anyway, thanks again for being here. I really appreciate it. And guys, stick with me to see what's next. Also, shout out to Valpa Media and Latino Podcast Network, and like, share, follow, subscribe, all that. Yeah. And follow me, Riverwalk Queen _ Norteño. I always
you always forget yourself.
I always do. Riverwalk Queen _ Norteño 210. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
Bye. He's not even there. Is he still high?